Right, so that's this. It's time now to move to the next topic. So before that, again, you have all the configuration for the slide deck. In the slide deck for here, this is the 8325, so that's the border of Fabric 1. You have all the config as well for border of the Fabric 2. So just as a clear text config in the slide deck, but you will retrieve all the configuration file here by double clicking on the blue box. I've got troubleshooting examples. Again, we talk about that slide for you to do that home exercise. So feel free to just double click and see the outcome. NetEdit is a good tool as well. You can just see here in NetEdit that I open the ability for NetEdit to provide you information directly on those VXLAN tunnels. And you see here, so that's the mapping of the drawing that I have. So this is one fabric here, it's another fabric, and Fabric 4 is here. You see those inter-fabric VXLAN tunnels that are here. And you have the details as well here. So typically here, that's for a VNI that is mapped, so extension of VLAN 10, and you see those color here when you select that VNI. So if I take, for instance, VNI 11, you may have another one, VNI 12, you have this one, and so on. And for the L3 VNI, you have that. You see the L3 VNI? You have all those tunnels that are constructed. So very much useful for if you have NetEdit to check the topology for the VXLAN tunnels. Use that as well, please. Reminder, cheat sheet for troubleshooting, I think quite important. Always check that the route type 3 that you learn for the L2 VNI routes local, remember this is used for bump traffic, that they are not exported outside. So again, what we have is, and I will clarify that, you have a route type 3 that can be used internal of the fabric. Those routes are not necessary to be exported outside of the fabric, because we are not going to construct tunnels from the local leaf of a fabric to another local leaf of another fabric. Route type 2 are used for L2 VNI and L3 VNI. So expect 2 entries per NLRI. So one for L2 VNI and one for L3 VNI. Remember, we covered that during the troubleshooting. So there might be a lot of NLRI to troubleshoot. Huh? So pay attention to always identify the best route when you are troubleshooting. So pay attention that the next stop destination MAC, again, must be consistent. If you see differences between VTEP and the router MAC, there is an issue somewhere with the route map. Pay attention to silent host as well, especially when you are doing some clearing the MAC or rebooting a switch where those entries reboot. You may have some delay when the hosts are replying. We cover that the ping to a tenant host from the VSX VTEP may fail because you are sourcing from you need to source from a loopback in the tenant VRF. So for that, that's why we introduce those loopback VRF. So if you are not doing that, the SVI sourcing the IP, the ping will simply not get any answer back. And you may also see that the ping from the host to the active gateway IP will always be successful because it will hit the first VTEP, and that one will always be successful. However, from a particular VTEP that is not necessarily the connected VTEP where the host is located to, as this is a distributed gateway, the ping might fail if you do not have loopback. Very important to take that into account while you troubleshoot. So again, I was talking about those route type 3 yesterday, but here, this is the check that we are doing. Border leader VTEP1 here does not advertise the type 3 routes that are intra-fabric 1 to the other fabric. So typically here, if I look at what I advertise to 2.8 here, you see here that I'm not going to advertise any routes that is subject to 10.5, for instance. You see here. However, 10.5 here is a route type 3 that I received from the spine. This one I'm not going to send to the outside, right? So this is again an optimization that we talked yesterday about. So yeah, I've got a troubleshooting example here that I'm a bit short of time. So this example here is about just to recap what are the key bullet points that you need to check if I want to troubleshoot the broken traffic between VM16 here, okay, which is in VLAN 12, to VM 14 here, which is connected to that border. So let's say you have a customer issue between those two workloads not working. This is inside the same VLAN. So please check EVPN. You have three things to check, remember. You have the fact that the VLAN is configured on the border, then that you have the VLAN mapping as well in EVPN, that we have as well the VXLAN interface with the VLAN mapping done in the VXLAN interface. And you have the route target as well that correspond to the global scope route target on all the VTEP for that traffic to be extended. Right. Resources, I put as well a BGP decision tree. I think it's important to have that one.